Welcome to the Barry Charles Footy Show. On this episode, yes, Jett Cleary should be number 7 for the Warriors this week coming up. Trainer 2.0, yes, the Cowboys trainer gets involved. Should there have been a penalty for the Parramatta Eels? Is Mitchell Moses deserves to give Talon Silver a serve, or has he been a crybaby? But obviously the big talking point out of the weekend, Reynolds and Ezra Mam go down in sniper shots, as well as Selwyn Cobbo, and is it season over for the Broncos and then the Warriors on the free fall to missing even a home final in round 1 of the finals? Let's get to it right here, right now on Barry Charles Footy Show. Welcome back, guys and gals, to the channel. Yes, absolutely pandemonium weekend. Some upsets galore, and then some big victories, but let's get to it. First of all, the big story here for me is Broncos are gone booger. Season done. They cannot win the comp with Adam Reynolds, who's out for 3 or 4 weeks. Ezra Mam likely with Selwyn Cobbo gone booger for the season. Now, the good thing is they got Ben Hunt, so he can go straight into 7. But we know what Ben Hunt has done in the finals in the past, or not done, choked. So at the end of the day, no offence to Ben Hunt, but he has choked in the big stage before and likely to do it again. So who would go to 6? Now they're all saying Billy Walters. I wouldn't do that. I think Kobe Black's the man for mine. I say not put a young gun in there. I think you do, because you could have a better bench for mine. You can have Corey Paik start and Billy Walters keeps his role on the bench, where he's played beautiful footy all season for them. And I think if you put Billy Walters to 6 and you got Corey Paik's and Tyson Smoothy, I believe Blake Mokes is still injured, but to me it just weakens the squad for mine. I think you could put Cody Black in there and he'll do a job. That's where I see it. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but that's what I'll be doing with Broncos fans. But in terms of let's get real with the premiership, with that squad, it really depends. Because at the moment, you could argue it'll be Sharks versus Broncos in the round 1 of the finals potentially. At Shark Park. Well, we know Sharks aren't that great. But Broncos aren't that good necessarily at travelling sometimes. So the Sharks, you would say, be favoured for that. This is just assuming things happen. This is on what the draws more likely sees. And then the Warriors would more than likely get 5th at this stage, for instance. And the Warriors would play either the Roosters, Dolphins, or mainly, which all 3 of them can make it. It all just depends on what happens. Roosters look the most in form of the 3, obviously, but they have some tough games to come. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. But yeah, in terms of the Broncos, if they can jump to 5th and then they play the Roosters or something like that, then the Broncos are a chance. I think Broncos need the home semi. If they don't get the home semi, I think they are done and dusted for the year. But to have someone like Ben Hunt just go straight into 7, they're not really losing much in terms of that. So really, there's probably no excuses for the Broncos to continue the way they've been going. But I just not convinced they're going to do it. Reece Walsh would have to go to another level and be consistent, which he hasn't proven to be. So I think the Broncos are done for the season. How about the Warriors? Well, if you look at the way they're playing, they don't even deserve to be in the top 8, to be quite honest with you. They absolutely have lost the plot, and I think Andrew Webster is losing the selection plot. He has to make the change. I'm not saying necessarily Jett Cleary, but I would put Jett Cleary in there. But he's got to make the change. Either Chance as fullback or Roger as fullback. I've always wanted Roger at fullback, but Chance hasn't done anything wrong at fullback. This mucking around with Taintua Picky, putting Chance here because they've got injuries in centres, it's got to stop. You've got to play your best team. The spine is the most important part of the competition with the props. That's and the lock. That's pretty much where you're at. There's about 6 players that are key to any squad winning the competition. You look at Penrith, you got Dylan Edwards, you got Blaze Talangi, you got Nathan Cleary, you got Mitch Kenny, you got Isaiah Yeo, and you got Moses Leota. And there's more than that. But I'm just saying, that's 6 key players. Who do the Warriors have with their best available players right now? So you can argue Roger fullback, then you got Chanel Harris-Tavita. Now you got Jett Cleary, Tanner Boyd, Tamari Martin. Tamari Martin obviously won't play the week coming up, but so they got them. Then you got Wade Egan, who's going to come back into the side. James Fisher-Harris and Aaron Clark, which is probably a question mark as his form dropped a little bit. With the rest of the side, some big questions. Obviously, losing Mitchell Barnett and Luke Metcalf has cost them a lot, but they were struggling in attack even when Luke Metcalf and they were in the team. Their attack has been pitiful, and now their defence is starting to go wayward. So the Warriors need to do something, and I think Jett Cleary is the answer. I think, and Roger the fullback. If not Roger, it's Chanel. I know Roger's doing good on the wing as well, no doubt about it. But yeah, there's got to be some talk around that, how that goes moving forward. But yeah, for the Warriors in terms of top four, this is simple as this. Warriors going to win all 4 games. So that, to be honest, where their position on the ladder, they should, but they have lost to teams they should in the last few weeks. So they shouldn't. So to me, highly doubtful they're going to turn it around, but surely they can. The Dragons are in form. If they can beat the Dragons, and then they'll start getting a roll and win 4 games in a row. This is what the Warriors need for a premiership free. Now, I'm putting this out there as absolute. You can put just a little bit on it. $56 for Warriors to win the comp, folks. For a team that's currently 5th. I think they're ranked like 8th or 9th favourite. Do I think they're going to win the comp? Probably not. But they've got the opportunity to go on a roll. And maybe it's worth a little side bet. At $56, you're getting very good odds, for my opinion. But they need someone to step up at 7. Whoever it is, Martin, Boyd, Jett Cleary, one of those 3 have to come up with the big game. And the kicking game is my question mark. That is the big question mark for the Warriors, because it was evident that Matt Burnham was just carving everyone up. So question marks over that. It's the kicking game with the Warriors. Is Jett Cleary the answer? That we'll see. Tanner Boyd. But it's just a big kicking game the Warriors are missing, and it's been proven of late. And that's what they're missing big time. Well, yep, let's go to Trainer 2.0. Yes, the Cowboys trainer got involved in the game. He don't even know why he was standing in the field at that time when it's not even their ball. It mind boggles me how the NRL just lets some of the stuff slide. I mean, even after that, there was 2 Cowboys trainers on the field. After this all happened, 2 of them coaching the team. How bad is the Cowboys right now that they need 2 trainers on the field to try and help them win the game? Absolute rubbish. I don't even see why they even need a trainer on the field at all. If you want to stop this hoopla, no trainers on. The trainers are only on there for the water boy, and if there's like a change to the... But they got to interchange people anyway. I mean, really, just to pour water. Well, that's what they're there for. Not there for all this other rubbish. Well, clearly they are there for game plans, all their rubbish, but then they shouldn't need to. These are top athletes. They don't need during game time and all this stuff. I know basketball, you have the timeouts and all that, and NFL have the timeouts. Well, halftime is your timeout for the players to get that going. To me, I just think trainers just get them off the field. No need to be there. But it's definitely funny for the consumer at home. Mitchell Moses, was he a crybaby giving it to Talon De Silva? To be honest, he absolutely deserved it. The last tackle and you just running it from dummy half. I mean, I know some Harry Grant's done it in the past and the others, but he was absolutely spewing Mitchell Moses, giving it to him, the young hooker. Interesting to see. So let's try and sum up what's happening right here in the NRL right now. The Raiders, to me, I'm not convinced they're the team to beat, because their first half's are rubbish. And if you give Penrith Melbourne a lead, you are not going to come back more than likely. And that's why Raiders, to me, I don't see them winning the comp. I could be proved wrong, but I'm not convinced. The Bulldogs, even though they've been a bit shaky, and you can argue the Lachlan Galvin thing has affected them, I don't think they have the strongest squad of the lot, but they're certainly up there with the best defence in the comp. And that's going to go a long way in the finals, and that's why the Bulldogs are a premiership hope. Melbourne Storm, they've been very sketchy as well. You'd expect them to make the grand final, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got knocked out in the preliminaries as well for mine. You could argue they're the team to beat, but I don't know. They got to get Nelson playing. get them out rocking and rolling and be a chance. Penrith, without a doubt, right here, right now, if you had to put money on who's going to win the comp, regardless, Penrith to break history. They are the form team right now. They could change in the next month. We'll see if they are the real Penrith. If they're the real Penrith, they'll go unbeaten to the finals and all the way. We'll see. If they're the real Penrith and they continue to be the real Penrith, we'll see. We'll find out when they play Storm on Thursday night if they are the real deal. Then beyond them, you got the Warriors 5th right now. The Warriors can drop right out of the 8. Now, there's a few games that might have helped them, but if the Warriors fall off a cliff and don't win another game, they're gone. Pretty much, more than likely, other teams would get to 12 wins and they'll be gone because of their for and against. They win one more, they're more than likely safe, but they're probably playing 7 for 8th. Warriors win 2, then they're probably, from where they are right now, if they win 2, 3 would be definite, but 2, they'll be 5th or 6th. 3, they'll definitely be 5th or 6th. 4, they've got a chance to get 4th. I don't see them getting any higher. They need someone to fold, and really, the only ones that probably have a chance is Penrith, because they're 1 point behind. They're the only ones, really. They are the only ones. Melbourne still aren't going to lose 3. So Penrith have to lose a game. The Warriors come in. That is the only scenario for the Warriors to get to top 4. But do you back Penrith losing a game coming into the finals? Hard to say. They will lose a game the way they've been playing, but it is rugby league and anything can happen. But anyway, Jett Cleary should be the Warriors number 7 come tomorrow, and they need to go for it. If he's got a better kicking game than the other guys, put him in, give him a go. You can always go back to Tim Martin or Tanner Boyd, but Jett Cleary could be the answer they need. Anyway, that's about a chance for the show for this episode. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.